So let's go ahead and get started. People will start to show up. I'm Sean, and I am a certified Bob Ross instructor. And tonight we're going to do a fun little painting. This is a winter painting. As you can see, we've got a black canvas, and I've already kind of prepped it. I started off with some Bob Ross liquid clear, and then in the center I put some phthalo green, and around that we've got a whole lot of Prussian blue. And with that, we can start. So I'm just going to take a fan brush. This is a number 6 Bob Ross fan brush. And from time to time, I will check the chat, so please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Tell me where you're from, where you're watching from. I don't know, tell me what's your favorite type of food to eat. Let's see here. While you guys are doing that, I'm just going to get this brush full of some titanium white. Set my palette to the side, and I'm going to come up here, and we're just going to have a little fun. I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to kind of dance it around, I don't know, kind of like that. Do something weird, something crazy. And then maybe we'll just kind of dance it, just let the brush bounce around. Kind of like a nebula galaxy effect. And you'll see it starting to pick up some of that blue, and that's going to be pretty cool. Okay. Set that brush down to the side. Take a clean, dry, make sure it's clean and dry. You don't want any paint thinner in this big brush, because that is going to be a pain. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this brush, and just using the corner, we're just going to tease that. Just kind of start blending it. We're just going to make just making little circular strokes. Just something like that. Very nice, very simple. And varying the pressure from time to time. You can even kind of pull it out here. You want to do this, you can do little X strokes if you want. The point is just to kind of make it look kind of cloudy, kind of like the Milky Way up in the sky with those long exposure photographs. You take it and just kind of have it come together there. Maybe it comes together right in there. You're going to start to pick up some paint. Just beat it on the brush beater rack. Take a step back. See if you like what you've done. Okay. Welcome. If you're enjoying this, if you're a fan of Bob Ross, please let me know. Let us know where you're watching from. And I am watching the chat from time to time when I step back. So if you've got questions, feel free to ask. And we're just going to stir this up. Just going to stir this up. You can kind of, right in there, just kind of blur it a little bit. Just get in there and have some fun. Don't worry. Paint like you don't care. Paint like you don't care. Okay? And just kind of mix it up a little bit. This is very gentle. You can kind of come across there if you want. There you go, just like that. If you want, you can pull some of that out even. It's not going to really matter too much because we're going to have a mountain there. So I'm going to step back for a second, see if I like. I think I do. All right. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live. If you got questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them in the chat. Like I said, I am checking the chat from time to time when I step back. I am Sean. I am a certified Ross instructor. And there we go. I think that's where we're going to leave that bad boy for now. Looking pretty good. Now, The next part is really my favorite part. All right, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take our palette. Don't think I went over the colors, so let's go over the colors now. We've got titanium white, phthalo green, Prussian blue, mountain mix. We've got some dark sand and some Van Dyke brown. I'm just gonna take that mountain mix. I'm gonna get a little roll of paint. And I think we're gonna have a mountain that lives, oh, I don't know, right there. Well, he sure does now. No turning back. Get that paint and then just scrape. Just like you should be able to hear that. Get some more mountain mix. Not gonna use a whole lot because we already got this black on the canvas here. Okay, so we're gonna put another peak. Maybe he comes kind of right in there. And then get yourself some more. You don't really need a whole lot of paint on this particular mountain here. I don't like that. It's too perfectly triangular. Put maybe a little bitty hump right there. I'm just gonna make this a 2-peak mountain tonight. Unless I change my mind, which I do from time to time. But for now, I think we're just gonna go with 2 peaks. Scrape all that paint. You can probably hear me. The only thing that we're concerned about is the outline shape. I'm not worried about the rest of it, okay? Not worried about the rest. I'm gonna take my dirty 2-inch brush. It's not gonna matter. I did knock off some of the extra paint. And what we're gonna do, thank you for any gifts. I appreciate that. If you've got questions or comments, please leave them in the chat. I am checking that. Okay. Just gonna pull this paint out. Just like that. Gotta make those little noises though. That helps. Really does. Okay. I don't know why, but it does. There we go. Just pull that paint. And this is doing 2 things. It's kind of laying out our mountain. You know, if you were here, you could see the brush strokes, and it kind of gives you an idea of where your highlights and your shadows are going to be. But it also, just as importantly, if not more so, it's helping us to remove some more of that paint. And that's going to make our next part of the process go a little bit easier. So you set that brush down, take our palette knife, excuse me, I'm going to step in front of the camera. Sorry about that, you have to see my bald head. And we're going to get our palette. And we are going to, yes, happy accidents. I love it when happy accidents happen. More often than I would have thought before I started painting. And get a little roll of paint onto our knife. And the way that you hold the knife, hopefully you can see that I'm just barely holding it. Do not put your finger on the blade. That's a no-no, okay? And come up here and just barely touching. As soon as I feel that paint grab, just gonna let it slide down the mountain just like that. That is a very, very gentle touch. Come back up in here. Missed a spot right there. That's okay. Just slide on down the mountain. Come over here. Gonna get this guy. Can't leave him out. Gonna get jealous. Jealous mountains are the worst. You don't want these big boys getting upset with us. So we're gonna pull that out. Hopefully you can see that. I'm getting these little rolls of paint onto the knife. And then we're gonna come up here and I don't know, maybe about right in here, we're gonna just go just like that. And he kind of veers off in that direction. And then just gonna come back. And again, that's very gentle. Pull that paint. Let your knife do all the work. You can do this, you just gotta have the right tools and a little bit of practice, that's all. Just a little practice. Come up in here, don't like those straight lines. I always try to break the lines up. take a step back, make sure you like what you're doing. Thank you for the likes and the gifts and all that good stuff. That really helps keep us going. And this painting will be available after the show, so if you're interested, just shoot me a message. All right, I'm gonna keep that going like that. Pull that paint down. Gonna shallow out into a valley right there. So you're just kind of have that paint going in that direction there. All right. Reload the knife from time to time. And what do you know? Just a few minutes, you got a happy little mountain. All right. So now it's time for shadows. So how are we going to make our shadow color? I'm going to come back up here. I've got some of that white paint. I'm going to just mix it with some of that Prussian blue. It's not going to take a lot. I'll even pull it over here to where it's getting some of that mountain mixture. Maybe something like that. Keep it kind of marbly, as Bob used to say. I'm going to use actually the small knife. So this is the Bob Ross smaller knife. There's two, a number 5 and a number 10. I'm going to use the small one for this. And then we're going to come up here and just kind of start putting in those shadows. Now, if your mix is not the right color, stop right here and fix it, change it. Don't just suffer in silence. Don't just leave it and say, oh, well, it is what it is. You change it. This is your world. If you're not happy with it, fix it now. You don't want to get to a week later when it's dry and you're like, oh, shucks, I should have changed X, Y, or Z. All right, that's one of my dogs barking in the background. That's Maisie. She's a miniature schnauzer. And she's about 12 years old now, so she's out there having fun. Kind of come up in here, give each one of these little areas their own private shadow, just like that. Kind of come up in here. There we go. Kind of have all this kind of connect together. We can fix that. Just keep going. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. You can fix just about anything with oil. That's the great thing about oil paint. It could be a few hours later and you could be walking by and say, ooh, I don't like X. And you could fix it at that point. All right. Set that knife to the side, get the other one, get some more white. Take a step back, load your knife. Thank you. Thank you so much for the likes and all that. Wow. There we go. You can kind of step back and see where you should have maybe added a little more snow. Now I know I'm going to have some trees over here, so on this side we're going to kind of go with it like that. There we go. Okay. Interesting mountain. Now we're going to take a clean, dry 2-inch brush. Sorry, this is the 2-inch brush, and you're just going to tap. And this is going to make that kind of foggy, misty appearance at the bottom of the mountain. And it's mixing already with that blue that I put down earlier. And so it's going to give us this really cool effect. It's really nice. Okay, just tap. And then you can just bring your brush very gently. This is the most gentle touch, because if you go in here with pressure, you're going to smear all that paint. then you're going to be upset with me. So don't do that. Just kind of brush it out at the bottom. Do the same thing here. And this is a very gentle tapping. It might look like I'm coming in here at 200 miles an hour, but I'm really not. Get a little smudge there, that's okay. I'm going to have a tree there, so it's not going to matter too much. You can bring that around, kind of down that way, just like that. All right. Nice, very nice. Take a step back. Like I say, every few seconds, every few minutes, take a step back. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. That is very much appreciated. If you're liking the show, let us know. All right. Now we're going to get another brush. This is a number 6 fan brush. I'm starting to pile up dirty instruments up here. We're going to take, we're going to get some blue. This is Prussian blue. And we're going to mix it with a little bit of the phthalo green. Mix that in there, and then we're going to mix that with the mountain mix. Mostly mountain mix and mostly Prussian blue. Don't really use a lot of green in my winter paintings. Okay, we're going to come up in here. We're going to use this misty effect. We're just going to do some tap and crash trees. Those are very easy to do. You just come in here. I'm just tapping and crashing the brush into the canvas. Switch sides as it runs out. And next thing you know, you've got all these far distant trees way off in the distance. Reload as your brush starts to break open. Come back over here. Now, sometimes when I'm teaching a class, I've had students who they'll do their trees like this. They're trying really hard to make them perfect. Don't do that. That looks like a fence post. If you get that, it's a very, very simple fix. Just come in and connect them all together. Maybe bring one up taller than the others. You don't want that symmetry. That symmetry's actually going to bother the eye and make it feel unnatural. Just come up in here. And then connect them all together. That's simple. Okay? Put that brush to the side for just a second. With the dirty brush, I'm going to beat the devil out of him real fast. Step in front of the camera. And I'm going to clean off the brush just a little bit. And then we're going to come in here and tap, 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 tap. Tap that bottom out. And you can brush up just a little bit just to kind of bring it all together. All right. You could even, if you wanted to, I'm going to put maybe 2 dots of white on the brush. And you could kind of put in some fog, some mistiness there at the bottom of the trees. I don't know if you guys can see that. Please let me know in the chat if you guys can see that. Just kind of alter it a little bit in shape and height. Again, I'm getting just the smallest amount. Should look kind of like a smoky effect. It might be a little bit brighter in some places than others. Take the other side of the brush. If you tap it enough, it's going to mix with that blue and it's going to cool it down. Just kind of do like we do with clouds. Blend it out a little bit. There you go. Good to go. Good to go. Take a step back, check the chat. Oh, Reef. I usually start at 5:30 on Sundays, or at least I try to, unless there's something going on. You know how that goes. But we try to start on Sundays right around 5:30 p.m. And then sometimes I'll do one around 10:30 a.m. on Sundays as well. But we also have a YouTube channel, so if you look Paint with Shawn on YouTube, you can see us there. And sometimes I do a live there too. Okay, so let's come in here, and I think we're gonna put some happy little bushes. So maybe there's some happy bushes that live right in here. Now that fog helps to separate. It's also gonna help us to see what we're doing here. All right, we're gonna put in some happy little bushes just that way. Actually, you know, wouldn't be a Bob Ross painting if we had no trees. So, let's put in a tree here while I'm at it. And I think what we're gonna do, put that first tree right there. Now, it's probably hard for you guys to see that on the camera, but I can see that it's there. Load my fan brush up again. You can see it's got quite a bit of paint. And I'm gonna come up here and we're just gonna push up today. Get these push-up trees, these evergreens. Just have them come right down and kind of have the brush open up as you get further and further down the tree. It's hard to see it right now. I know. You're probably looking at the camera saying, what is this guy talking about? I don't see anything. But we will see it once we get in our highlights. So let me just give you an idea of what it's going to look like. So we'll take, got that dirty fan brush from earlier, the white one, or the brush that had white on it, right? And we're going to add a lot of white to it and a little bit of paint thinner to that white. Not a whole lot. We're just going to thin it out just a little bit so that it hopefully jumps off the brush. And then just going to walk down the tree. Kind of the same thing, but I'm leaving some of that dark. You don't want to kill all that dark. And boom, 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 just like that. Suddenly, you've got a happy little pine tree, evergreen tree, blue spruce, whatever. And looks really nice. So let's add another one. He's got to have a friend, right? Bob says everybody needs a friend. Maisie needs to let you know she's here. All right. Once again, walk right down the tree. Should look kind of like a Z, kind of when you're doing it. I think Bob even said that one time. Somebody in one of the classes, one of the students called them Z trees because it looked like you were making a Z. Maybe we got one over here. All right. We'll name this tree Bob. What the heck? That's his. That must mean Peapod the pocket squirrel's around there somewhere too. They're probably causing trouble with the nuts and fighting over who's got what. All right. Put that there. Get some more white on your brush. Maybe just a smidgen of paint thinner. Not a whole lot. But you want it to jump off the brush because a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. And just like that, look at that. And I am barely touching this. It may not look like it because you can see the canvas moving, but I'm really just barely touching it. Just go right down that tree. Right down that tree. And there you go. You got yourself some happy little trees. Now the bushes have to have highlights too, right? You can't leave them out. So you're just going to come up here and just kind of the same thing. Okay? The same thing. And then if you want, you can put in some snow. Maybe there's a snow bank that these guys are on top of. And all you're going to do is pull that paint. Just like that. Remember the lay of the land, as Bob used to say. You just kind of pull that paint down. Pull that paint down. Okay, and leave some of that dark in there. It looks like shadows underneath the snow. It's really a cool effect. Just keep going. Get yourself all this really cool snow that's going on, and people will love it, and it's very, very easy to do. Very easy to do. Okay, let's take our dark. I don't know, maybe can't leave this side out. So let's just put in some happy little bushes, weed type things right in there. Okay. Doing the same thing as we did earlier. A little bit of paint thinner onto the light brush along with the white. Now it's dirty white by this point. It's got blue that's mixed in, but when it gets up here, it's still gonna jump out. You're just gonna choo, 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 choo. This is our second show today. This is kind of a special day. It's the 1-year anniversary when I first became a certified Ross instructor. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the likes, the shares. And somebody on the earlier show asked if the painting would be available, and yes, they are. You can message me. This will be on Etsy. Probably in about 30 minutes after the show is over. These make great Christmas gifts. What's better than giving somebody a beautiful painting that they can just kind of sit there and stare at? Had several people tell me, I just like to sit there and look at it. And I know the feeling. All right, look at that. Really nice. Just get all that snowy snowbank effect. And it's, I mean, if you can just take a paintbrush and go like this, then you can paint this. You really can. Matter of fact, this might be the painting I teach in February. I do classes locally, and I think we might do this one in February. This is a really cool painting. And it's really easy. All right, just kind of come back, and wow. I like it, I like it. We're almost done. Now, usually when I do this painting, I will put some stars in the sky. And there's different ways to do that. You can just take, I've got the liner brush, and it's thinned down titanium white. And I'm gonna just touch in various spots. Not gonna do too much with this. Now you could take paint and thin it down, and then you could use your knife and kind of flick it at it, and you would get 1,000 little stars, but I'm not really going for that look tonight. I'll just put a few little doers in there just like that. Take a step back, see if you like it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. We're not quite done yet, I don't think. Now in the past, probably gonna regret doing this, but I've put in a shooting star. So I'm gonna take my filbert brush, and I'm just gonna take one of these, and you can kind of pull it, not really showing up too much. So we'll add just a little more. Again, I might regret doing this. We'll see. That's literally all that I want to put. I don't want to put too much more. Take my filbert brush. Just looks like a shooting star, or maybe a comet that's in the sky tonight. Really cool, really nice. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. And that's about 90% of the painting done, 95% done, truth be told. The only thing that's really left to do is to put your signature. Now I don't have any red on the palette tonight, so So we're going to just use whitish. See if that works. Got to put your signature. Unlike Bob, I have a long last name, so it's going to take a second or three and have to reload the brush. There we go. Take a step back, look at your painting, see if you like it. If there's any last minute things that you would like to do, maybe you want to take some of these little sticky guys up here, maybe throw in some sticks and twigs back in the background there. You can do that. Could even do, you're going to start to pick up some of that dark paint. But you could put in a few little stick guys there, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I think we are done. So thank you very much. If there are no questions, I'm Sean, and I am a Certified Ross Instructor. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for